Honorable Etuwewe, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So where do we stand? You've been here. I think we've had 2 conversations about this subject matter. There's been hope that stakeholders have been coming together and having meetings. Would you say that there's been adequate representation? Bring us up to speed as to where we are.
Okay, thank you very much. To give a current update, I think we've only been having tensions all over. And that has led to invitations from the NSA, inviting all stakeholders, the Itsekiris, the Ijaws, and the Urhobos to Abuja, which of course I think a day before yesterday, on Monday precisely, there was a meeting with the NSA.
Okay, what was the meeting about?
It's to ensure that there's security. The security tension is doused.
How bad is the security tension in Delta State now?
It's amazingly, growing daily, growing by the day.
As a result of this word delineation exercise?
Yes.
So can you tell us what were the takeaways from the meeting with the National Security Advisor? Was any communique issued? And was that meeting successfully in dousing any tension on ground?
The NSA meeting, I cannot be precise with the details because I wasn't part of the delegates. But the chairman of the Warri South Local Government Council has banned every form of protests for the now. So Warri is kind of calm for the now. But I am not assuring. I am not assuring because especially the Itsekiri people are so very, very angry at this moment. Very, very angry at this moment. Can I start?
Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Now, the Itsekiri people, listen, you cannot, whoever is saying, this is Nigeria. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not unaware of Warri as a place over time. The Warri as a place is owned by the Itsekiris. We have judgments. We have land ownership judgments. You see this delineation. This delineation, according to 1999 Constitution as amended, Section 72, it allows for delineation. So we are not against delineation. 73 subsection 1 says it should be done in an interval of 10 years. Of course, it's even overdue. We have 2 years, to have that done nationally. But the court ordered for a delineation. We of course allowed it. Delineation has happened. Unfortunately, it was fraudulent. I think the order from the Supreme Court has been upheld. But the
why do you say the exercise was fraudulent?
Yeah.
What evidence do you provide to prove this assertion?
Fraudulent, as it were, on the draft. A draft has been presented where the majority stakeholders, the owners of the lands, the people with the largest population became a minority on the draft. And then we now decided, I am here with the guideline.
What does it say?
I am here with the guideline. I'll just give you a part. Delineation, INEC delineation. You cannot delineate without people. Delineation is about population. And that population can be found from the voters' register. Now, let me give you an example. This is the guideline that INEC brought at the first stakeholders meeting to say, this is what we will use to do this exercise. Now, listen to this. Features of a polling unit. It says, a polling unit shall have a maximum of 70 registered voters.
70.
750. 750 registered voters. Are those voters supposed to, are they on the air? Of course, they're on the land. And there are ownership to those lands. Polling units are on the lands. Now, this population, where will you get them? How would you be, how are you able, as an INEC official, field official, how are you able to ascertain the electoral population of a place? The voters register. And thank God they stipulated it here. He said a polling unit shall have a maximum of 750 registered voters. And these registered voters, they are on the voters register.
So the delineation exercise.
Now, let me finish. Now, some people are saying it's a fresh delineation, which means they should bring people that exist on the air. And eventually, on the draft, we were able to capture some of those inspirations. They brought communities from Edo State, Ondo State,
and put them there in Itsekiri.
Put them in Itsekiri land to accumulate voters, to create wards for the Ijaws.
Have you addressed this with the INEC boss?
Of course. We have done press conferences.
Yes, you've had a press conference. What's the impact? What's the result of that press conference?
The only thing we have heard from INEC was the announcement that is not the final work. It is a draft. Meanwhile, the day they came to present this draft, as claimed by INEC, the banner on the entrance to the venue was stating result of delineation, final result of delineation.
Wow.
It was when we started protesting, when they saw the tension, they released the press statement and said it is a draft.
But why are they doing this? Have you gotten it?
What's the reason? This is why we should prosecute, especially Professor Rodas Gomus. That woman should be prosecuted.
Who is she, for the benefit of those who are watching?
She's an Ijaw statesman.
Okay.
Ijaw stateswoman.
Okay.
She's an Ijaw woman.
What's her role?
And she's the head commissioner that supersedes, that oversaw the whole process.
Okay.
So what's her interest in all of this?
I just said she's an Ijaw woman, and she's even one of the Ijaw leaders of thought.
So basically trying to increase the Ijaw numbers in order to favor the Ijaw people as opposed to Itsekiri.
Let me tell you, 1997, the Warri had 4 constituencies. It was delineated. The Ijaws, as we speak, one was given to them to add to another that they have. Now they have Patani Bomadi Federal Constituency. Then from that one of the constituencies that was taken from Warri, they created a local government to them, where they now have 2 constituencies, and then they have a federal representation, which is the Brutu Federal Constituency. Now we, the Itsekiris, in Warri, the Warri Federal Constituency, made up of 3 local governments, we have just 1 federal representation. Now, as it were, just like the Isokos. The Isokos have one federal representation at the Green Chambers. The Ondokwas, every ethnic nationality have
at least one.
At least one. Warri Federal Constituency, just one for the Itsekiri. They are about to take. And the Ijaws, these are people that came from Bayelsa.
All right. These same Ijaw people that you're making reference to, and the Urhobo people as well, have claimed that the Itsekiri people are getting involved in political maneuvering tactics, that even if involving the president is some form of political maneuvering. What would your response to this be?
You see, it feels so disheartening hearing this. You know, these people have been, in recent time, they have been so empowered by the president. Tantita contract, as it were, surveillance, they have been so empowered. So when we heard this frivolous allegation, you know, against the presidency and his wife, the first lady, you know, it's amazing to see. And it is not new. It is not new. When you have ungrateful people, like I mentioned the first time I came here, I said the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, it is out of the benevolence of the Itsekiri people that he is there as a member of the State House of Assembly. He is from Burutu. The father is the king of Ogula.
Okay.
But yet he is here. Some of them came from Bayelsa, some are from Burutu.
So the
Itsekiris, my brother, this is why the tension now, because as it were, we have nowhere else to go.
So when you were
This
highlighting
marginalization,
this story for us, you
this
said
marginalization,
after the protest, INEC came out and said this is a draft.
See, there is a
so
draft.
the word delineation exercise has not taken place yet.
I think that's for INEC to answer. Because as far as we are concerned, the Supreme Court judgment has been upheld. But the people that perpetrated the exercise, led by Professor Rhoda Gomus, an interested party, perpetrated fraudulent exercise to favor the Ijaws, who of course had negotiation with the Urhobos. So the Urhobos want to exist in Warri Urban. The Ijaws want to exist in Warri Urban. So the Urhobos give them some assistance so that they can support them, to have more wards in Warri South. So all of this put together was orchestrated by Professor Rhoda Gomus.
So you've written to the president and you've asked Mr. President to intervene in this crisis. What are you expecting, and what plans does your organization have to seek justice beyond the letter to the president?
Yes, these are our expectations. Our expectations are, one, we are law-abiding people, Itsekiris, and the Supreme Court has given an order. The ruling has been obeyed. We obeyed the ruling. Now we are saying, we don't know the extent these people can go, going by what we have seen now. Now, if court judgments must be obeyed, there are other court judgments in favor of the Itsekiris, like the 10-ward structure in Warri. You don't build something on an illegality now. There was a judgment that INEC reversed to the 10 wards instead of the 12 wards that they unilaterally created. That has not been obeyed. So upon what structure did you delineate on? So they have to revert to that one. And if they say they didn't use the existing voter register because they were fictitious or ghost, whatever they, wasn't it INEC that also conducted that delineation? Now, you really can't be, even God himself, when God was going to create the world, the Bible says the earth was without form or void, but the Holy Spirit was upon the surface of the earth. That means there was something. God built on something. And God followed guideline. He followed guideline, otherwise he would have created the entire world on a particular day. And or better still, would have created all specs. Instead, he used different days to create different specs. But what we have here, they disregarded their own guidelines. That is to mean that something happened along the line. Under Professor.
What do you think happened?
That's conflict of interest, one.
Okay.
Two, she helped to actualize the Ijaw expansion agenda.
What is the Ijaw expansion agenda?
The Ijaw expansion agenda is to dominate, by hook or crook, everywhere you have oil facilities.
Okay, we might have to bring the president of the Ijaw Youth and possibly the Ijaw Council
conversation
to balance this, because this claim, it looks while it looks very technical on camera because it's a technical conversation, we might also have to balance it with INEC as well to fully understand what the goal really is. But what is the way forward for you and the Itsekiri people as we speak today?
Like I just said, we have obeyed the court ruling.
Are you going to Abuja? Are you going to Abuja to meet with the president?
if I think it behooves on the president to invite.
Okay. But you've written to him.
But we have written to the president. And what was done is a shambles.
So you're asking for a fresh delineation exercise? Is that
Yes, yes. But before you conduct a fresh delineation exercise, you must uphold all court judgments. Like the 10-word structure, reverting to the 10-word structure. That is very important. Land ownership judgments. You must obey all. That's very important.
So, calling on the president as the executive to step into where there have been judicial proclamations, don't we see there that maybe that might, I don't know how much impact we think that might have, or if that would seem fair to the general populace who would say that president is not the judiciary. Exactly. The judiciary has already given judgments, and there are procedures for enforcing judgments from the judiciary.
And it's already giving the national security advisor to
the judgment has been, we obeyed the judgment for a delineation. It's just unfortunate that it was, if your child is in GSS 3, crossing to SS1, when he fails, he repeats the class.
So you don't think that is argument enough that the Ijaw and Urhobo people have when they say that they have, numerical strength and, greater population and a broader influence when it comes to controlling oil producing areas, and that should give them a greater political relevance? You don't think that
those are fallacies. We have evidence on the INEC portal 2023 election. What was Beavers for? Beavers was for authenticity, accuracy, right? Go and check and see.
All right. Honorable, thank you so much, Honorable Emiko Odin Etuwewe, for joining us this morning. Well, we have to have a broader conversation this time with all the other stakeholders.
Yeah.
We heard from the Itsekiri people. We need to hear from the Ijaw, the Urhobo, as well as INEC, so that we get a full picture. And if possible, we can maybe have some sort of a sit-down with everybody on the show, and we hear from every side of the divide. But ultimately, what we want to see is peace in Delta State. We want to see peace in Warri. We don't want to see the Warri South issue escalating out of control. You said that for now there's some sort of ceasefire, and we're hoping that that ceasefire agreement lasts for as long as we're able to work a way around what will seem like an amicable settlement to everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. All right.